Hi there guys, so Canelo Alvarez has hit out at his promoter Oscar De La Hoya of Golden Boy Promotions by saying there is no loyalty at all, and he has questioned the loyalty of the promoter. This is what Canelo Alvarez had to say. You can see there's no loyalty in him. He changed trainers during his career, he's changed managers in his career, so there's no loyalty. That's the way he is. We see it now. So clearly there has been some tension building for a while, and Canelo could no longer keep it a secret. He had to get that off his chest. And given that he is going into a big fight with Sergey Kovalev at the weekend, I mean, this is not great for Canelo Alvarez, especially given where he believes his team are against him, especially Oscar De La Hoya, his promoter, the guy who signed him. So this is not great for Canelo Alvarez, especially if he feels like he is in this position. It is never good when a fighter feels he is being betrayed by his promoter, because basically what Canelo is doing is putting money in Oscar De La Hoya's pocket. He's the one going in there fighting, and I know that Oscar De La Hoya is a legend, and he has graced the ring before, but clearly he hasn't been loyal to Canelo Alvarez. Now, we don't know the magnitude of the situation, we don't know too much about what has gone on. I mean, you hear things, but I mean, you never really know what's true and what's not. But Canelo has voiced his opinion on Oscar De La Hoya, and I mean, Canelo Alvarez has just signed a 6-fight deal, or just signed, I mean, he's in his third fight with that deal. And Oscar De La Hoya is still his promoter at this stage, but he does work with Eddie Hearn as well, because Eddie Hearn works with DAZN. Because Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing have the main affiliation with DAZN. Golden Boy are on board as well. But I mean, what we could see is Canelo jump over to Matchroom Boxing, which is what I believe will happen, especially if this feud continues and it is not resolved. Because after the Sergey Kovalev fight, no matter what happens, Canelo Alvarez will still have 3 fights left on his contract, and he will have to see them out. And if Canelo Alvarez were to jump over to Matchroom Boxing, then he would be easily able to see out the rest of that contract. And I would imagine he would stay with DAZN, because Matchroom are the main affiliated company with DAZN anyway, not necessarily Golden Boy. So Canelo could jump over to Matchroom. And if that happens, I wouldn't mind betting that Ryan Garcia, Canelo's protege, will also follow, because Ryan Garcia trains and works very closely with Canelo Alvarez. He is dubbed as Canelo's protege. Also, they train under the same trainer, Eddie Reynoso. And also, Garcia is not Oscar De La Hoya's biggest fan as well, because it was 2 years ago when Canelo Alvarez's opinion of Oscar De La Hoya changed, and it was at the time Canelo drew with Gennady Golovkin with the lineal middleweight championship at stake, with the first draw being Canelo Alvarez waiting as Golden Boy tried to negotiate a deal for him to defend his IBF middleweight title, and then obviously it was Ryan Garcia, who is a good friend of Alvarez, and an issue was raised considering Ryan Garcia only received $50,000 for a fight. That brought in close to $1 million. And Ryan Garcia tweeted his frustrations, which were responded to by Oscar De La Hoya, who then deleted the comment on Garcia's Instagram feed, saying that, "Bro, when you duck under, always keep your eye on the opponent. You tell your trainer that." Now, Canelo Alvarez obviously saw the message and saw it as a jibe at Eddie Reynoso, who is the trainer of Ryan Garcia and Canelo. So obviously that would mean that Ryan Garcia possibly would follow Canelo over to Matchroom Boxing. But as I said, something has obviously been stirring under the surface for a while now, and Canelo has finally had enough of it and come out and expressed his opinion on Oscar De La Hoya. And maybe after this fight, this could be the end, because at the press conference they had recently for the Sergey Kovalev fight, they barely even looked at each other, they didn't even acknowledge each other. And I noticed that Oscar De La Hoya was referring to him as Alvarez, not Canelo. And obviously, Saul Canelo Alvarez goes by the name Canelo. He never really goes by the name Saul Alvarez. Many people probably wouldn't even know who that fighter was. They know him as Canelo. Everyone does. So you can see the tension building there. And obviously Canelo is hot property in the sport of boxing. He's one of the biggest stars, if not the biggest star, with Anthony Joshua in the sport. So realistically at this stage, he doesn't need anyone. He can go his own way. And I mean, I know Oscar De La Hoya gave him that opportunity. Canelo went to Oscar De La Hoya when he was like 15, I believe, when he started his pro career, and they said, come back when you're 18. He came back with an undefeated record and a great knockout ratio, and that's when Golden Boy signed him. So they took a chance on Canelo, so that has to be remembered as well and respected. But obviously now Canelo believes that Oscar De La Hoya does not have his best interest in mind. He has his own instead, which is not great considering Canelo is the one going in there fighting. He is the one earning the money. not Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya has had his time, and he retired with a great resume, might I add. I'm not trying to put Oscar De La Hoya down, but Canelo certainly feels like Oscar De La Hoya is taking him for a ride, and he has expressed that in this statement. But guys, what are your thoughts on this? Canelo's comments towards Oscar De La Hoya, his promoter. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, click your thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.